clinic garb. It's Heather Boyd calling. I'm just going to move him around a lot and see how he's moving his arms and his legs. How would you describe his temperament? Is he a pretty laid-back kid? How is he communicating now? My name is Heather Boyd and I'm a clinical specialist and occupational therapist in the neonatal follow-up clinic. I'm considered the coordinator of the clinic, so I do a lot of behind-the-scenes administrative work getting the clinic ready. So that includes getting referrals for clinic and spending a lot of time contacting community agencies when we do see children to refer them on for additional treatment or support. My actual clinic work is a day and a half a week, and it's when families who have babies that have graduated from the NICU go home, and we follow them until they're 3. To make sure that they are growing well and they're developing well. Today I have a client coming in who is here for their second visit. Thomas?
Hi. Yeah.
Hi, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good, thanks for coming in today.
Yeah, no problem.
You can go right this way. So it's nice to see you again. And what I'd like to do is just start with you filling me in on what he's doing now.
He rolled from his front to his back.
Oh my goodness, that's exciting.
It is exciting. He's starting to laugh a lot more and he's talking a lot more, so those are definitely the highlights right now.
Oh, that's very exciting. I focus on growth and development here, so I always start by asking the parents what they'd like to brag about so that they can share all the exciting things their children are doing. And I do that primarily because I want to focus on what's going well. And then I do my assessment to kind of confirm what the parents are sharing with me and to test tone, neurological development, motor development, and social development as well. So it's a lot of handling of the babies, and it looks a lot like play, but I'm busy looking at how they're moving and how they're developing. When we have families come into clinic, consent is implied because they're coming in, we're explaining what the visit is for and what we're doing. Where I do get explicit consent is when I want to talk to a physician or a community agency or any other specialist. I make sure that I ask the family for their permission to do that. I don't use any standardized assessment in my practice, although I used to in a similar clinic. But in this current clinic, it's very informal. I have a general checklist that I use that helps guide my questions to families and helps guide my assessment. And because we see babies at particular ages, I've gotten very familiar with what to look for at the particular ages that we see babies at. Clinical reasoning is also useful for figuring out what other specialties to bring in. If I'm concerned about growth, then I can access a dietitian and get her support as well. Sandra, can I ask you about a little kitty I saw in clinic yesterday?
Sure.
In our clinic, there are a few of us that see patients individually, and that includes a neonatologist and a developmental pediatrician, as well as a nurse practitioner. So each of us can draw each other in as needed. So I may be drawn into another visit if the issues are around motor development or speech. On the flip side, I can bring in the neonatologist if I'm concerned about tone or concerned about a future diagnosis of cerebral palsy, for example. I'll give her a call back and let her know.
Great.
Okay, thanks.
You're welcome.
I have one day a week that's protected time for research. So when I'm able to etch out that time in my week, I am always looking for the research questions that come out of clinical practice and that I can't find answers to in the literature. I'm able to design research projects around answering those questions and go through the research ethics board process to develop the project and get approval to do the project. Best evidence helps direct me in deciding what agencies to send children to if there are concerns. Best evidence also helps direct what we ask families and what we are observing with children. If we know what is typical for a premature infant at a particular age, then that can help guide us in, if there are concerns, knowing what the range of typical is for the course of a premature infant. I started work in the community in an infant development program with infants from 0 to 3, and I went back to do my master's, and that led me to be able to take on a position that involved research and coordinating a clinic as well as doing clinical work. I think first and foremost, working with families and being non-judgmental and very open to hearing their story is very important. Families have come from a history where they've had very sick babies, and they're often stressed and concerned about how they're doing. my number one job is reassuring parents that things are going well, and second to that is helping identify issues so that we can address them well and reassure them that we are doing what is appropriate for helping their child. The most rewarding is to have families who have come from such a stressful situation. They come in, they're worried that this is a very medical visit, they're coming into a hospital to have their child assessed, and for me to ask them to start bragging about their babies and to see them just relax and tell me all the things that they're excited about seeing. That's, to me, the best part of the job. Now, is there anyone that's involved in supporting you around his development, like an infant development program or? No. Okay, great. And did you get an initial call from a Healthy Babies, Healthy Children nurse?
Yes.
Yes. So it was one call on the phone and that was it?
Yeah, she offered to come, but
you were
we didn't
feeling
have
things
any
were going pretty good.
concerns
Things were going well. Hi, handsome. Good morning. Good morning.